Section 1 of Que Quiere and 18 more poems. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Que Quiere and 18 more poems by William Carlos Williams. Section 1. Subterra. Where shall I find you, you my grotesque fellows that I seek everywhere to make up my band? None, not one with the earthly tastes I require, their burrowing pride that rises subtly as on a bush in May. Where are you this day, you my 7-year locusts, with cased wings? Ah, my beauties, how I long that harvest that shall be your advent, thrusting up through the grass, up under the weeds answering me, that shall be satisfying. The light shall leap and snap that day as with 1,000,000 lashes. Oh, I have you. Yes, you are about me in a sense, playing under the blue pools that are my windows. But they shut you out still, there in the half-light. For the simple truth is that though I see you clear enough, you are not there. It is not that. It is you I want. God, if I could fathom the guts of shadows, you to come with me, poking into negro houses with their gloom and smell, in among children leaping around a dead dog, mimicking onto the lawns of the rich. You, to go with me a tiptoe, head down under heaven, nostrils lipping the wind. Pastoral. When I was younger it was plain to me I must make something of myself. Older now, I walk back streets, admiring the houses of the very poor, roof out of line with sides, the yards cluttered with old chicken wire, ashes, furniture gone wrong, the fences and outhouses built of barrel staves and parts of boxes, all, if I am fortunate, smeared a bluish green that, properly weathered, pleases me best of all colors. No one will believe this of vast import to the nation. Chicory and daisies. 1. Lift your flowers on bitter stems, chicory. Lift them up out of the scorched ground. Bear no foliage, but give yourself wholly to that. Strain under them, you bitter stems that no beast eats, and scorn grayness. Into the heat with them, cool, luxuriant, sky blue. The earth cracks and is shriveled up. The wind moans piteously. The sky goes out if you should fail. 2. I saw a child with daisies for weaving into the hair, tear the stems with her teeth. Metric figure. There is a bird in the poplars. It is the sun. The leaves are little yellow fish swimming in the river. The bird skims above them. Day is on his wings. Phoebus. It is he that is making the great gleam among the poplars. It is his singing outshines the noise of leaves clashing in the wind. Woman walking. In a bleak cloud of purple smoke across a milky silhouette of house-sides and tiny trees, a little village that ends in a saw edge of mist-covered trees on a sheet of gray sky. To the right, jutting in, a dark crimson corner of roof. To the left, half a tree. What a blessing it is to see you in the street again, powerful woman, coming with swinging haunches, breast straight forward, supple shoulders, full arms, and strong, soft hands. I've felt them, carrying the heavy basket. I might well see you oftener, and for a different reason than the fresh eggs you bring us so regularly. Yes, you, young as I, with bony brows, kind gray eyes, and a kind mouth, you walking out toward me from that dead hillside. I might well see you oftener. Gulls. My townspeople. Beyond in the great world are many with whom it were far more profitable for me to live than here with you. These whir about me calling, and for my own part I answer them loud as I can. But they, being free, pass. I remain. Therefore listen, for you will not soon have another singer. First I say this, you have seen the strange birds, have you not, that sometimes rest upon our river in winter? Let them cause you to think well one of the storms that drive many to shelter. These things do not happen without reason. And the next thing I say is this. I saw an eagle once circling against the clouds over one of our principal churches. Easter it was, a beautiful day. 3 gulls came from above the river and crossed slowly seaward. Oh, I know you have your own hymns, I have heard them. And because I knew they invoked some great protector, I could not be angry with you, no matter how much they outraged true music. You see, it is not necessary for us to leap at each other, and as I told you, in the end the gulls moved seaward very quietly. Appeal. You who are so mighty, crimson salamander, hear me once more. I lay among the half-burned sticks at the edge of the fire. The fiend was creeping in. I felt the cold tips of fingers. O crimson salamander, give me one little flame, one, that I may bind it protectingly about the wrist of him that flung me here, here upon the very center. This is my song. In harbor. Surely there among the great docks is peace, my mind. There with the ships moored in the river, go out, timid child, and snuggle in among the great ships talking so quietly. Maybe you will even fall asleep near them, be lifted into one of their laps, and in the morning, there is always the morning in which to remember it all. Of what they are gossiping, God knows, and God knows it matters little, for we cannot understand them. Yet it is certainly of the sea. Of that there can be no question. It is a quiet sound. Rest. That's all I care for now. The smell of them will put us to sleep presently. Smell. It is the sea water mingling here into the river. At least so it seems. Perhaps it is something else. But what matter? The sea water. It is quiet and smooth here. How slowly they move, little by little, trying the hawsers that drop and groan with their agony. Yes, it is certainly of the high sea they are talking. Winter sunset. Then I raised my head and stared out over the blue February waste to the blue bank of hill with stars on it, in strings and festoons, but above that, one opaque stone of a cloud just on the hill, left and right, as far as I could see, and above that, a red streak, then icy blue sky. It was a fearful thing to come into a man's heart at that time, that stone, over the little blinking stars that set there. Apology. Why do I write today? The beauty of the terrible faces of our non-entities stirs me to it. Colored women, day workers, old and experienced, returning home at dusk, in cast-off clothing, faces like old Florentine oak. Also, the set pieces of your faces stir me, leading citizens, but not in the same way. Pastoral. The little sparrows hop ingenuously about the pavement, quarreling, with sharp voices over those things that interest them. But we who are wiser shut ourselves in on either hand, and no one knows whether we think good or evil. Meanwhile, the old man who goes about gathering dog lime walks in the gutter without looking up, and his tread is more majestic than that of the Episcopal minister approaching the pulpit on a Sunday. These things astonish me beyond words. Love song. Daisies are broken, petals are news of the day, stems lift to the grass tops, they catch on shoes, part in the middle, leave root and leaves secure. Black branches carry square leaves to the wood's top. They hold firm, break with a roar, show the white. Your moods are slow, the shedding of leaves, and sure, the return in May. We walked in your father's grove and saw the great oaks lying with roots ripped from the ground. M.B. Winter has spent the snow out of envy, but spring is here. He sits at the breakfast table in his yellow hair and disdains even the sun walking outside in spangled slippers. He looks out. There is a glare of lights before a theater. A sparkling lady passes quickly to the seclusion of her carriage. Presently, under the dirty, wavy heaven of a borrowed room, he will make re-inhaled tobacco smoke his clouds and try them against the sky's limits. Tract. I will teach you, my townspeople, how to perform a funeral, for you have it over a troupe of artists. Unless one should scour the world, you have the ground sense necessary. See the hearse leads. I begin with it designed for a hearse. For Christ's sake, not black, nor white either, and not polished. Let it be weathered, like a farm wagon, with gilt wheels. This could be applied fresh at small expense, or no wheels at all, a rough day to drag over the ground. Knock the glass out. My God, glass, my townspeople, for what purpose? Is it for the dead to look out, or for us to see how well he is housed, or to see the flowers, or the lack of them, or what? To keep the rain and snow from him? He will have a heavier rain soon, pebbles and dirt and what not. Let there be no glass and no upholstery, pew, and no little brass rollers and small easy wheels on the bottom. My townspeople, what are you thinking of? A rough, plain hearse, then, with gilt wheels and no top at all. On this the coffin lies by its own weight. No wreaths, please, especially no hothouse flowers. Some common memento is better, something he prized and is known by. His old clothes, a few books perhaps, God knows what. You realize how we are about these things, my townspeople. Something will be found. Anything, even flowers if he had to come to that. So much for the hearse. For heaven's sake, though, see to the driver. Take off the silk hat. In fact, that's no place at all for him, up there unceremoniously dragging our friend out to his own dignity. Bring him down, low and inconspicuous. I'd not have him ride on the wagon at all. Damn him, the undertaker's understrapper. Let him hold the reins and walk at the side, and inconspicuously too. Then briefly, as to yourselves, walk behind, as they do in France, 7th class. Or if you ride, hell, take curtains, go with some show of inconvenience, sit openly to the weather. As to grief, or do you think you can shut grief in? What, from us, we who have perhaps nothing to lose? Share with us, will be money in your pockets. Go now, I think you are ready. Promenade. Number 1. Well, mind, here we have our little son beside us, a little diversion before breakfast. Come, we'll walk down the road till the bacon will be frying. We might better be idle. A poem might come of it. Oh, be useful. Save annoyance to Flossie, and besides, the wind. It's cold, it blows our old pants out. Makes us shiver. See the heavy trees shifting their weight before it. Let us be trees. An old house, a hill with grass on it. The baby's arms are blue. Come, move. Be quieted. 2. So, we'll sit here now and throw pebbles into this water trickle. Splash the water up. Splash it up, Sonny. Laugh. Hit it there, deep under the grass. See it splash. Ah, mind, see it splash. It is alive. Throw pieces of broken leaves into it. They'll pass through. No, yes, just. Away now for the cows, but it's cold. It's getting dark. It's going to rain. No further. 3. Oh, then, a wreath. Let's refresh something they used to write well of. 2 fern plumes. Strip them to the midrib along one side. Bind the tips with a grass stem. Bend and intertwist the stalks at the back. So. Ah, now we are crowned. Now we are a poet. Quickly, a bunch of little flowers for Flossie. The little ones only. A red clover one. Blue heel-all. A sprig of boneset. 1 primrose. A head of Indian tobacco. This magenta speck. And this little lavender. Home now, my mind. Sonny's arms are icy, I tell you. And have breakfast. El hombre. It's a strange courage you give me, ancient star. Shine alone in the sunrise, toward which you blend no part. Hero. Fool, put your adventures into those things which break ships, not female flesh. Let there pass over the mind the waters of 4 oceans, the airs of 4 skies. Return hollow-bellied, keen-eyed, hard, a simple scar or 2. Little girls will come bringing you roses for your buttonhole. Libertad, igualdad, fraternidad. You sullen pig of a man, you force me into the mud with your stinking ash-cart. Brother, if we were rich, we'd stick our chests out and hold our heads high. It is dreams that have destroyed us. There is no more pride in horses or in rein-holding. We sit hunched together, brooding our fate. Well, all things turn bitter in the end, whether you choose the right or the left way, and dreams are not a bad thing. Cantada. The old black man showed me how he had been shocked in his youth by 6 women dancing a set dance, stark naked below the skirts raised round their breasts, bellies flung forward, knees flying, while his gestures against the tiled walls of the dingy bathroom swished with ecstasy to the familiar music of his old emotion. Mujer. Old black Persian cat, was not your life already cursed with offspring? We took you for rest to that old Yankee farm, so lonely with so many field mice in the long grass, and you returned to us in this condition, O black Persian cat. Summer Song. Wanderer moon, smiling a faintly ironical smile at this brilliant, dew-moistened summer morning, a detached, sleepily indifferent smile, a wanderer's smile. If I should buy a shirt your color and put on a tie sky blue, where would they carry me? Love Song. Sweep the house clean, hang fresh curtains in the windows, put on a new dress and come with me. The elm is scattering its little loaves of sweet smells from a white sky. Who shall hear of us in the time to come? Let him say there was a burst of fragrance from black branches. Foreign. Artsy Bashev is a Russian. I'm an American. Let us wonder, my townspeople, if Artsy Bashev tends his own fires as I do, gets himself cursed for the baby's failure to thrive, loosens windows for the woman who cleans his parlor, or has he neat servants in a quiet library, an intellectual wife perhaps, and no children, an apartment somewhere in a back street, or lives alone or with his mother or sister. I wonder, my townspeople, if Artsy Bashev looks upon himself the more concernedly, or succeeds any better than I in laying the world. I wonder which is the bigger fool in his own mind. These are shining topics, my townspeople, but hardly of great moment. A prelude. I know only the bare rocks of today. In these lies my brown seaweed, green quartz veins bent through the wet shale. In these lie my pools left by the tide, quiet, forgetting waves. On these stiffened white starfish, on these I slip barefooted. Whispers of the fishy air touch my body. Sisters, I say to them. History. 1. A wind might blow a lotus petal over the pyramids, but not this wind. Summer is a dried leaf. Leaves stir this way, then that. On the baked asphalt, the wheels of motor cars rush over them. Gas smells mingle with leaf smells. O Sunday day of worship, the steps to the museum are high. Worshippers pass in and out. Nobody comes here today. I come here to mingle faience dug from the tomb, turquoise-colored necklaces and belched wind from the stomach, delicately veined basins of agate, cracked and discolored, and the stink of stale urine. Enter, elbow in at the door, men, women, simpering, clay fetish faces counting through the turnstile. Ah. 2. This sarcophagus contained the body of Yoresh Nai, priestess to the goddess Mut, mother of all. Run your finger against this edge. Here went the chisel, and think of an arrogance endured 6,000 years without a flaw. But love is an oil to embalm the body. Love is a packet of spices, a strong-smelling liquid to be squirted into the thigh. No? Love, rubbed on a bald head, will make hair. And after? Love is a lice-comber, gnats on dung. The chisel is in your hand, the block is before you. Cut as I shall dictate. This is the coffin of Yoresh Nai, priestess to the sky goddess, built to endure forever. Carve the inside with the image of my death, in little lines of figures 3 fingers high. Put a lid on it, cut with mud, bending over the earth, for my headpiece, and in the year to be chosen I will rouse, the lid shall be lifted, and I will walk about the temple where they have rested me, and eat the air of the place. Ah, these walls are high. This is in keeping. 3. The priestess has passed into her tomb. The stone has taken up her spirit. Granite over flesh, who will deny its advantages? Your death? Water spilled on the ground. The water will mount again into rose leaves. But you would hold life still, even as a memory, when it is over. Benevolence is rare. Climb about this sarcophagus. Read what is writ for you in these figures. Hard as the granite that has held them, with so soft a hand, the while your own flesh has been 50 times through the guts of oxen. Read. The rose tree will have its donor, even though he give stingily. The gift of some endures 10 years, the gift of some 20, and the gift of some for the time a great house rots and is torn down. Some give for 1,000 years to men of one face, some for 1,000 to all men, and some few to all men, while granite holds an edge against the weather. Judge then of love. 4. My flesh is turned to stone. I have endured my summer. The flurry of falling leaves is ended. Lay the finger upon this granite. I was well desired and fully caressed by many lovers, but my flesh withered swiftly, and my heart was never satisfied. Lay your hands upon the granite, as a lover lays his hand upon the thigh and upon the round breasts of her who is beside him. For now I will not wither. Now I have thrown off secrecy. Now I have walked naked into the street. Now I have scattered my heavy beauty in the open market. Here I am with head high and a burning heart, eagerly awaiting your caresses, whoever it may be, for granite is not harder than my love is open, runs loose among you. I arrogant against death, I who have endured, I warn against the years. 5. But it is 5 o'clock. Come, life is good. Enjoy it. A walk in the park while the day lasts. I will go with you. Look, This northern scenery is not the Nile, but these benches, the yellow and purple dust, the moon there, these tired people, the lights on the water. Are not these Jews and Ethiopians? The world is young, surely, young and colored like a girl that has come upon a lover. Will that do? Winter quiet. Limb to limb, mouth to mouth, with the bleached grass, silver mist lies upon the backyards, among the outhouses. The dwarf trees pirouette awkwardly to it, whirling round on one toe. The big tree smiles and glances upward. Tense with suppressed excitement, the fences watch where the ground has humped an aching shoulder for the ecstasy. Dawn. Ecstatic bird songs pound the hollow vastness of the sky with metallic clinkings, beating color up into it at a far edge, beating it, with rising triumphant ardor, stirring it into warmth, quickening in it a spreading change, bursting wildly against it as dividing the horizon. A heavy sun lifts himself, is lifted, bit by bit above the edge of things, runs free at last, out into the open, lumbering, glorified in full release upward. Songs cease. Good night. In brilliant gaslight, I turn the kitchen spigot and watch the water splash into the clean white sink. On the grooved drain board to one side is a glass filled with parsley, crisp green. Waiting for the water to freshen, I glance at the spotless floor. A pair of rubber sandals lie side by side under the wall table. All is in order for the night. Waiting, with a glass in my hand, 3 girls in crimson satin pass close before me on the murmurous background of the crowded opera. It is memory playing the clown. 3 vague, meaningless girls full of smells and the rustling sound of cloth rubbing on cloth, in little slippers on carpet. High school French spoken in a loud voice. Parsley in a glass, still and shining, brings me back. I take my drink and yawn deliciously. I am ready for bed. Danse russe. If I, when my wife is sleeping, and the baby and Kathleen are sleeping, and the sun is a flame-white disk in silken mists above shining trees, if I in my north room dance naked, grotesquely before my mirror, waving my shirt round my head, and sing softly to myself, I am lonely, lonely, I was born to be lonely, I am best so. If I admire my arms, my face, my shoulders, flanks, buttocks, against the yellow drawn shades, who shall say I am not the happy genius of my household? Portrait of a woman in bed. There's my things drying in the corner, that blue skirt joined to the gray shirt. I'm sick of trouble. Lift the covers if you want me, and you'll see the rest of my clothes, though it would be cold lying with nothing on. I won't work, and I've got no cash. What are you going to do about it? And no jewelry. The crazy fools. But I've my 2 eyes and a smooth face, and here's this. Look, it's high. There's brains and blood in there. My name's Robitza. Corsets can go to the devil, and drawers along with them. What do I care? My 2 boys, they're keen. Let the rich lady care for them. They'll beat the school, or let them go to the gutter. That ends trouble. This house is empty, isn't it? Then it's mine, 'cause I need it. Oh, I won't starve, while there's the Bible to make them feed me. Try to help me if you want trouble, or leave me alone. That ends trouble. The county physician is a damned fool, and you can go to hell. You could have closed the door when you came in. Do it when you go out. I'm tired. Virtue. Now? Why? Whirlpools of orange and blue flame feather twists of chrome on a green ground, funneling down upon the steaming phallus head of the med sun himself, black and crimson. Now? Why? It is the smile of her, the smell of her, the vulgar inviting mouth of her. It is, oh, nothing new, nothing that lasts in eternity, nothing worth putting out to interest, nothing but the fixing of an eye concretely upon emptiness. Come. Here are cross-eyed men, a boy with a patch, men walking in their shirts, men in hats, dark men, a pale man with little black mustaches and a dirty white coat, fat men with pudgy faces, thin faces, crooked faces, slit eyes, gray eyes, black eyes, old men with dirty beards, men in vests with gold watch chains. Come. End of section 1.